Mm. So I want you to open Android Studio if you have downloaded. I asked you to download Android Studio yesterday. So okay, so to create a new project, you have to go to the new project session. It is still visible. One second. So after going to new, you have to select empty activity, and then you have to go next. So here you can see the first option is, what do you say, the name of your app. So I will write. So for this, I will just tell you what we are going to make today. We are going to make a app which will be, what do you say, used to roll a dice. Like you click a button and you can, what do you say, random roll a dice, and the dice will show a random number from 1 to 6 on it. So that is the app which we are going to make today. So first I will just name my app dice rolling app. So then I will say finish. Wait 1 second. Share screen window. You can see this. So once everyone is done with this, just put a done in the chat. So see, yeah, you can see on the top, what do you say, top of this window, it is written Gradle project sync in process. So you have to wait until this completes. This is the one-time thing that Android does. It, what do you say, initializing all the files and packages that you need for your application to run. So you have to wait for this to complete. So we will wait until this is completed. So you can also do this by that time. So my Gradle sync is done. So shall I continue? So everyone is done with this part. Okay, let's move on. Okay, so first thing is, what do you say? In the top left corner, so whenever you are working on your app, you should always go to the Android section. You don't have to worry about all this for now. Uh, the only thing they have on is the Android part. So if you want to code your app, you have to first go to Android. Then you will see all these files under it. So this is one of your important files, Android manifest. So this file contains all the information about your app. Like if you want to give your app internet permission, you have to define it here. If you want to change the theme of your application, you have to do it here. You have to, if you want to change the icon of your application, you can do this here. If you want to change, what you say, the label, like the name that will be displayed when you create the APK, so that is also written here. And there is a tab called activity. So basically, in Android applications, instead of like web pages in internet, there are, what do you say, activities in Android app. So you can, what do you say, relate an activity to a web page. So basically now we only have one activity. So this will be our main page. This will be your first page of your, what do you say, Android app. So this part defines which page you should load whenever you open your application. So for now it is set to main activity, but in the later phases, if you create more activities and if you want some other activity to load before main, you can just define it here. Okay, so this is activity Android manifest file. So I told you what it does. Then under, what do you say, Java, you don't have to worry about both of these folders because these are for testing. We're doing testing for now. Uh, the only folder that you have to, what do you say, focus here is this one, the first folder. This will contain all your, what do you say, code for your application, like functionalities. That Kotlin code will be written here. All the activities, all the whatever files you need, it will be written here. And then we have a res folder. So this is the part where you define the UI of your application. Like we have a layout. So every activity, like this main activity, has a layout file with it. So as you can see, we are, what do you say, set content view. This function, what it does is that it adds this layout, or attaches this layout to your main activity. So every activity will have a layout, and all the layouts are stored under this folder. That is a layout folder. Then you have a drawable folder. So this is basically images that you will be using in your application. Then you have a map. So basically what this contains is the application icon of your application, the APK icon. Then you have values folder. So in under values you have colors. So what colors does is it defines, what do you say, you can define different colors here. So if you want to create a new color, say something with another name, any name, you can give any name to the color. Then you have to just pass the, what we say, hex value of that color here. That color will be defined for your application, so you can use it wherever you want. Then you have string. So we will talk about this in more detail later. So basically, whatever you write in, what do you say, Kotlin, you can convert that into a string variable. Like you can convert it into, what do you say, convert it like a variable, make it like a variable. So why is this needed? Because, what do you say, in Android, if you want to, what do you say, change languages, like if you want to introduce new language to your application, it will be easy to, what do you say, translate the application if you, what do you say, store all your strings here. So that is why this is used. So then we have a theme folder. So theme folder basically defines all the basically defines how, what will be the theme of your application. So we have a color primary. We will look into it later. So we have a color primary, that is a primary color for your application. Then we have color secondary, and this will be the secondary color for your application. Then we also have, what do you say, background color. We will look into it later. So that was about folders. Okay, so now so Android Studio basically creates a demo app for you. So I will just run it here. So before that, uh, is there anyone who has downloaded AVD Manager? Or, yeah. So basically, to run your application, you have two options. Either you can use a virtual machine, or you can connect your own device, like own mobile phone. So for now, downloading a virtual machine will be difficult, I guess. So one second. One second. Uh, okay, so for what I want you to do is take your phone and, bring the, what is USB cable that you use to charge your phone. And I want to connect your phone to your, what do you say, mobile laptop. Yeah, you can use any mobile phones. Okay, once you have connected, just say done if you're connected. Now go to your phone settings. Yeah, I will tell you. So you can see this part, right? You don't need this for if you are using your phone. You don't need this tab. I will be using virtual machine, so that's why I'm using that. No, don't restart. I think it is taking time in your device, so don't worry. So before, if you are connected, just go to your phone settings. Then you go to, what do you say, build number, I guess. You go to build number and uh, tap it multiple times. Tap build number until you see a message saying that you are a developer now. So if you have done this, put a done sign there, put a done message, anything. Go to about phone in your settings, then you say multi tap developer number multiple times. Minimum RAM, I think it 4 GB will be good enough. Okay, so once you have unlocked your developer options, you have to go to developer settings, developer options. Okay, after going to developer options, you go to the debugging session and you enable USB debugging. USB debugging option will be there, so you just enable that. Once you do this, just what do you say? If you're already connected, just remove your cable and reconnect it. You should see, what do you say? Wait 1 second, I will bring my cable. 1 second. Hello, hello, hello. Okay, so what is USB debugging? So actually, USB debugging just enables your device to run commands from your laptop or computer. So the computer can directly install applications to your USB debugging is enabled. So once you connect your device, 1 second. Okay, so once you connect in your notification screen, you can see uh, what do you say notification saying USB debugging connected. You just tap it. Okay, now I think you could, what do you say, be able to see your device here. No, it is not working. Routing mobile is different, I think. Okay. Can you see your mobile device listed here? If you can see it, just put anything. Okay. So what you have to do is just select your device here. This one, run app. In my case, I'm using the virtual machine, so it will open on my laptop itself. But you can't download it right now because it will take a lot of time. So that's why I'm just asking you to use your, what do you say, mobiles. This option like this. Don't know why it is happening. You can see graded build below this. So this means that your app is building right now. It will be installed. After some time, this will change to installing. That means it is installing. Okay, fail to install the following Android packages as some license have not been accessible to run SGA. Okay, so I don't know what this error is. We can solve this after the class if you know. Okay, so is anyone able to successfully do this in your device? Can you please tell again the process after phone is connected? So once you after what you say enabling debugging option USB debugging, when you connect your phone, you will see your device here under this part like this. So you just have to. This is a virtual device. You will see your device right here. So you just have to select your device here, and this you will have to what do you say click on run button, and it will run the. Yeah, okay, so that is fine. Okay, so this anyone else? Anyone is there anyone who was able to do it on your phone? See, see, like my phone is Poco, so it is showing Poco F1 here. You can see right now. If I when you connect your device will be listed here. So you can just click on that. Fail to install the following. Some licenses have not been accepted. Phone. It's showing error. Okay, you can, what do you say? You can just search this error on Stack Overflow. Just try to fix it. Is there anyone else getting the same error, or is it working for anyone in your device? I think it will work. So this was your first option, okay? To run your application on your phone, you can do this. But if you want to, what do you say, download a virtual machine like this, what you have to do is on the top right you can see this icon, AVD Manager. You can go here or under Tools you can find AVD Manager. Okay, so you just have to click AVD Manager. Can you see the screen? Virtual devices. If you can see it, just say yes, no. Okay, wait. I will stop sharing this window. Okay. Yeah, I hope you can see this. Okay, so here I already have a virtual device, so it is listed here. But in your case, it will be there will be nothing. So what you have to do is you just have to go to create virtual machine here, and then you have to select any device. You will also have to, what do you say, like for example, if I say Pixel Excel, go to next. Then here you have to, what do you say, download a Android software like the APIs, the entire, what do you say, operating system. So you can select anything from here, and you have to download it. So this will take time because it is like 2 to 3 GBs. So this will take time. Then you have to. I have already downloaded Q, so I can just say next, and I can, what do you say, create another virtual machine. So one more thing, you can not just create virtual machines for phone. You can also create TV, Wear OS, tablets, automotives, anything. Like if you want to create a software for application for your TV, you can try running that here, and then you can, what do you say, move it to your television and you can run it. So that was about virtual machines. So I will share the other screen. So I hope, what do you say, you understood how to run your application, like the basic, the demo application that Google gives. So this is how it looks. It is just a text view printing, what do you say, showing hello world. So is there anything, any doubt till this part? Okay, so I hope there is no doubt. So can I use virtual device in Mac devices? I think you can. I have never used it. It should be. No, I've heard that there are some errors, but I think there is some other process to run on Mac. I've never used Mac, so I don't know. You can ask, or you can Google it if you want. It is not working. So moving on now, see, now this is just a one-page application. There is only one page which prints "Hello World." This is the nav bar that is already present there. So this is your activity, and it is just showing "Hello World." So how to, what do you say, change the UI? So what we want is we want an image here, then we want a button. So the image should, what do you say, display the image of the dice that you are rolling, and then there should be a button. And we also need to have a title and a footer saying who created the application. So to change the UI, you have to come to this, that is, what do you say, yeah. So you have to go to activity main.xml. You can find it here. You have to go under values, what do you say, uh, res folder, and under layout you can find the activity main. So once you go into activity main, there are, what do you say, basically three windows, three views that you can use. One is design view. This is just, what we say, drag and drop view. Like you can drag items here and you can just create your view here. But if you want to code them in, so you can also see both of them right here. And if you want to see only the code part, you can see it. So basically whatever you code here will be displayed here, or whatever you display here, whatever you add here will be automatically added to your code. So I will show you how. So before that, let's see how, what do you say, layouts work in Android. So basically in Android, there are, everything that you see is a view. Like this text is a view, and if you add another something else, button, you just have to drag it here, just added a button. So button is a view, text is a view. So, and there are there is something else called layouts of the view, layouts for the view. So what they do is that they define a layout in which the view should be displayed. Like in constraint layout, it says that every view should have a constraint. So for example, if I just delete this, see here. So as you can see on the right under layout session, so you can see that this view, that is the text view, is constrained to left of parent. Like this is the parent and it is left of it, right of parent, this is also parent and this is right of it, top of parent and bottom of parent. So the constraints on this text is what do you say, applied related to the parent. Okay, so you will understand what this means as you go. So for now, let's just say that we want this to be our title. So we can just drag and move it to the top. And I want to change the text from hello world to something else. So on the right side, you can see the declared attributes tab. So what this says is that every attribute related to this view. So you can see layout width, layout height. What do you say? Layout constraints. That is the constraint you already saw here. Then you have okay. So text for now is set to hello world. So what do we want is it to be changed to the dice game. So now once you do this, you can see it. If you can't see, I will just zoom it. You can see it is updated. Now I want the text to be little bigger. So what I can do is under declared attributes, I can just, what do you say? First I have to select this under declared attributes. I can just click on the plus button. I have to search for text size. See, text size is there. So I will go to text size. Then I will put the value. Let's say 24. Okay, let's increase it to 34. Okay, so now you can see that our text is big enough. Now I want the text to be bold. So to make the text bold, I will add another attribute. This time it will be style, like text style. And under here you can have it normal, bold or italic. So I will select bold. Then I will say apply. Now our text is bold. So we've just defined the title. Any doubts till now? So due to this error, do I have to, which error, which was error, what was error? Hmm. I think this error is not occurring because of your device. I think this is something else. Yeah, maybe you have to Google it. Wait 1 second, I will search it for you. Failed to install the following packages. Okay, so for your error, I saw, tell again once how to start Android Studio. Uh, did you open Android Studio? Hmm. Once you open Android Studio, you can see a new project button there. Som Kumar. Okay, so after going to new projects, you will have to first enter the name of your application and then you have to go to next. Like you don't have to change anything else. So after entering, you have to just wait for your Gradle to complete syncing. Like your what do you say? Your packages will be loaded. Once they are loaded, you can continue working. So okay, let's move on for now. So okay, so now I have added the title of our game. So next thing is I have to add a button to change the. So I just drag a button from this tab. I will just put it here. Okay. So now you can see I get an error. What does this say is that missing constraint in constraint layout. So that means that we have not provided any constraints to this button. So what I want is that this button to what we say move according to this text view. So what I will do is that I will just drag this part. I will just zoom in. I will just drag this part of the. This means what should be the constraint. We have to define the left constraint. We have to define the top constraint, and the right and bottom constraint. So first I will say right will move according to the left will move according to the left of the text view. Then I will say that right will move according to the right of text view. So then I would say top will move according to top. So now you can see that it already, what do you say, it just overlapped the text view. So what I can do is just hold it and just drag it down. Okay, so if I just drag it down, and this also. Okay, so now if we go to the constraints of this button, you can see that, see, the start is start of text view, end is the end of text view, and top is the top of text view. Okay, but if you see here, you see there is a value, it is not zero because we have a margin from the top. So from the start of text view, we have to, what do you say, put this view with a margin of 168. That's what this means. Then you can also, what do you say, if you want, okay, you don't need to do this also. This one is fine. So what this does is that if you just move this one, the button moves with it. You see, if you move the text, the button moves with. So it will be easy to, what we say, manage, move the app, edit the application if you want later. For now, I want this to be lower, like here. Okay, so now I want the text of the button to be roll, because if I press it, the die should roll. So I will say roll. So now this looks fine. So for now, the color of the, what do you say, button is same as your what is it, primary, because wait, I will run this. I will run this here and you can see it running. 1 second. Hmm. Gradle build is happening. We have to wait for that. Hmm. Install did not succeed. The application could not be installed into my server. Did you enable USB debugging? Abhinav Yadav. So when you connected your device, I think you got a notification on your phone. You should get a notification on your phone. 1 second, I will tell you what it will be. Notification saying, okay, you allowed it. Then 1 second, let me also try if it is working on my device. Okay, though, so you can see that the color of this button is all same as the color of this one. So what these colors are defined in this folder, like this theme one. See, color primary is purple 500. So this color is used here and here, and we have color secondary that is used here and here. So these all colors define the theme of your application. If you change this, the theme of your application changes. We'll be changing this later, but before that we have to do this. So I will run this on my application also and try it is working on my phone. What is the error? Uh, Install list of APKs. Remember. Not. Acha, I don't have enough space. 1 second. Lot of WhatsApp. What, what is Abhinav Yadav, just check if you have this error. How to solve the issue? Failed to install. Wait. Which option should I choose after Android SDK? Android SDK, empty activity. If you are asking about that, you go for empty activity and then select next. Android SDK for what? Like we are creating virtual device. Fail to okay. Arnav, how to solve the issue for failed to install? Yeah, I also got the same issue, but my problem was what do you say? Uh, where is it written? Not enough space. So you just check if this is your problem or not, or if you find anything that is what do you say understandable. I will have to delete something. Still the same issue. Not enough space. There's a message. Wait, that was whole mess. Install did not succeed. Install failed. User restriction is because 0. Which phone do you have? I don't think. Okay, so found this in Abhinav. Yeah, so just try installing VM if it is not working. Failures according to packages. The- how to edit the text? So, 1 second. To edit the text, you have to go to activity main. For example, let's say I will hide this for now. Let's say I want to edit this text view. I will click here. Then on the right side, you can see all the attributes related to this view. That is the text view. Then here you can find the text. So here you can change the text. So this is an attribute with of this text view. That is a text. So you can edit that. Okay, when on side it's showing antivirus is impacting build performance, so I have to disable it too. I don't know, but uh, if it is working, then try. Let me try this once again. Okay, so my phone it is working, but I don't know what is happening on your side. Just leave it. If it is not working, you try it with question how to manage SDK licenses. Yeah, so you can try what do you say the link which he's sending later, but don't do it now. We can do that later. So now we just added the dice name, right? So after that, what we need to do is we need to add an image. So image view. So we will just drag image view from here. Just put it here like this. We want the dice to come something here. So now we have to select images that we are going to add. So what I will do is before doing this, okay, first we need to import our images to drawable folder. So to do this, the simplest way is go to File Manager. Okay, then what we say, go to the folder where you have stored all your images. Like in my case, I have stored it in my D drive. Okay, so when I select all the images, then just drag those images inside drawable. So this, see, all the images are imported here. So just drag them, nothing else. I will, one second, I will share the images to you. Let me just, network problem. And diary images, okay. So I'm sharing a URL. You can find all the images that I'm using here. Okay, so you can go, you can download the folder with the images of the dice. Then you open the folder and just drag those images into your drawable folder on your Android. So you can see all the dice images are here. If I open dice one, you see this is the dice one image. Okay, so now just drag image view, you will be taken to the screen, and now you can see all the what we say images that is there in your project. So you just, for now, just select dice one because we have not coded any logic now for now, but just center it. And what you do is just resize the image view. I will resize it like this. Mm. Okay, now I want this image to be, what do you say, centered. So I will just do this. There is an option to crop. For now, just add the image and then, what do you say, I will add constraints, and like just like we did for the button, this constraint with him. Then I will say this top will be, let's say top is constrained with the top of this button. Okay, then I will move it down. Okay, so now we have added the image of our dice. So and anything else that we need to do? Okay, now that we have added the image, okay, so one more thing that we have to do is that we have to add IDs to these views because we will be using them in our code later. So you can see there is an ID attribute here. So image view doesn't say anything, so I will just rename it to dice. Okay. When you press enter, you can see a refractor. What refractor does is that it changes the occurrence of, what we say, previously what was its name. Previously its name was something else, right? Now if I change dice, if I change its ID to dice, so its ID must be used in different parts of your software, like in your application. So we have to change the value everywhere. But in Android Studio, you don't have to worry about that because, what do you say, if you change this, okay, and you press enter, you will, what do you say, Android Studio will automatically ask you, what do you say, if you want to change the occurrence of this everywhere in your project. So if you just press refractor, it will automatically change occurrence of ID wherever it occurred, and it will change it to dice. So that is what refractor does. It is very useful tool. So Okay, so now once the image is added, now what we have to do? Mm, Image is there. Okay, now we need a footer, just saying who created the application. So for this, we will drag another text view. We'll just, what do you say, constrain it to here. We'll drag it down. We say it is the center of the, it's constrained with this thing. Okay, so now it is done. Now I will have to change the name. I will have to change the name to, let's say, what will I put the text made by? Okay, for the automation, I have to increase the size also. So I will say text size. One more thing. When I type text size, you can see there are two types of text sizes. Will type text sizes. That is, one is in one which says Android text size, and other says tool text size. So difference is whenever you put Android text size, use Android text size, it changes the value in here, like in this view, and also the real application. But if you use tools, right? If you use tool, it will only make changes here. So tool is just to test your UI how it will look without affecting the, what do you say, real application. If you use tool text size here, it won't, what do you say, it would apply these changes to the real application. To apply this change to real application, you have to do Android text size. Now it will affect both here and in the application also. This 24. Okay. So now this looks good. If I run this in, no, it's not able to insert image. Can you show it from where to browse? Okay. So go to file manager. Once again, just go to file manager and go to the folder where you install the image, like the dice folder that you download from the link. uh, on desktop. On desktop, you have file manager, na? Normal file manager that you use daily. That thing. One second. So you can see we have it. We have our app. Okay, so we need to make this little bit above. Okay. So now if I run this. After extracting the images, go inside the folder and just select all the images. Select all the images and just press copy. Then after copying, you just come into Android, go to this folder. Okay, go to this folder. Okay, right click. One second. Right click and then just say paste. So all the images will be pasted here. Okay, so now you can see this looks nice. Our UI looks nice for now because we have the dice, you have the button, everything. So okay, any doubts till now? Any doubts? Anyone? Arnav, uh, are you able to import the images? Okay, so that is also done. So is there anyone who has done till this part, like this thing? Added the images, added the button, added the title, and also the footer. Done. Done. Okay. So now you can see if you click the button, it is not doing anything. So what we need to do is we need to add the functionality so that when we click this button, our dice rolls a random number and displays the images according to the number that you have rolled. So we'll be doing that now. So before that, for what do you say, before coding in Kotlin, what I want you guys to do is uh, open Kotlin Playground, the website that we used yesterday, and just try to create a class named Dice. Okay, one second. I will share my screen. Stop sharing. Window. Okay, so I hope you can see this. So I want you to create a class. Which is called Dice. Okay, and then you can also pass parameters here. So there will be only one parameter named number of sites. Property, one property named number of sites. Number of sites. Okay, and then there will be a function that will be named role. So once you hit click on role, what this should do is that this function should return an integer. Return integer that is a random number between 1 to 1 to 6. So to generate random numbers, there is a function called random. Like if you want to print, let's say print uh, to print a random number between 1 and 10, what I can do is 1 dot dot 10. So you know that this will return a something like a list. So then you can say dot random. This will work. Be sure. Uh, Try this. This is working. So as you can see, it is printing a random number between 1 and 10 every time I press run. So this time it printed 3. So next time it is printing 6. So you can use this function to create this class. Okay, so once you are done, you can just say done and try this out. You can take 5 minutes, I guess. Done. Done. Anyone else? Done, done, done. So now write the same class in your or you can you can, if you want, you can put public only. Number of sites can be public. Like you have to take number of sites in the constructor of Dice. When you're creating the constructor, you should, what do you say, with the while creating the object, you should also pass the number of sites with it. Yeah, I will wait for 2 minutes and then I will code the and I will share the code input. Don't worry. Till then, you can try it out if you want. No function, no arguments. You just have to return a, what do you say, number between 1 and the number of sides. Like if the dice has more than 6 sides, dice can have any number of sides. So if it has 6 sides, or if it has 8 sides, you just have to print a random number between 1 and number of sides, like that. So to return that value, you will be storing that in a variable. if so now we can just try it out. I guess if everyone has attempted the problem. So now first thing that we need to do will be to create a class dice, and we need, what do we say, property, right? Let's say sides. The type of this should be int. Okay. Now, what do we do? Now inside this class, what we need is a function. Let's call it roll. Function returns integer, and what do you say? We should return a random number between 1 and sides. So to do that, we will say 1 dot dot sides dot random. So to test this, what we can do is, let's say where given is equal to sides. Say it has 6 sides. Okay, now we given dot row. So I hope this prints. Okay, so it is printing 2 now. We run this again. It is printing 4. So this class works, and it is printing random numbers between 1 and 6. So we'll be using this only this much part with some other, what do you say, part in Kotlin. What do you say? This is the main this is the main logic for our dice rolling out. So we'll see how we can use this in our application. So let's go to another sheet. Before that, I made some changes like image was, what do you say, stretching. So what I did is I just changed the height and, what do you say, width of the image. Like it was previously something else, so I just changed both of them to 200 so that our image, what do you say, remains square. So you can also do this. Then I changed the constraint, this top constraint, to this one, dice, and then I moved it up. So now our app looks something like this. So if I move this, our entire, what do you say, everything moves with it. You can see that if I just move this, everything moves. If I move it up, so everything moves.
Cyril, your screen is not visible.
Okay, one second. So now, okay, so what I was telling you was that uh, your image was not, what do you say, properly visible. So what I did is that I just changed the height and width. Like if you click the image, you can see there are two variables, like two attributes. One is width and one is height. So I fixed both of them to 200 dp. So dp is actually a, what is a measurement unit which Android uses. So you can use this. So 200 dp, 200 dp, and now our image looks something like this. Then what it is that I just changed the top constraint of this image, and I, what do you say, added said that it is, what do you say, start of text view, like it will be here. So now everything is related, like everything is connected to each other. So if I move this part, so every other view moves with it. So you can just make adjustments very easily in this layout. So this is what constraint layout gives us. Like in constraint layout, you can arrange your views respective to each other. There are other layouts also. We will not be talking about them now because constraint layout will be enough for most of the cases. Button ID as well. Yeah, button ID. Yes, you can change button ID also if you want. Like let's change button ID to roll button. It is a good convention to add BTN. Now refract it. Okay, now button ID is changed. We should also change image because we will also be, okay, image is already changed. Okay, I don't think anything else is there that we need to change. Okay, so now we need to add functionality. So to add functionality, we have to go to main activity.kt file. So this is where we code, what do you say, everything, every functionalities for our, what do you say, front end. Like, so let's first start by copying our dice class from Kotlin Playground. copy it and then add it to Kotlin file. I think you can add it here. Okay, so now we have added what do you say our dice class to our main activity.kt file. So KT means Kotlin. Okay, so this file is a Kotlin language file, so it is giving KT, like the extension is .kt. So now first thing that we need to do is get the resources, like get the views, get a reference to the views that we need to work with in our Kotlin file. So to do that, we just have to say var. First, let's say we have to take the image. So we'll just say dice image, and then we have to define the type, and the type is image view. Image view, okay, it will be equal to. Now there is a function like find view by ID. So because we are what do you say finding this view with its ID, so we have to do find view by ID. Inside that, you have to go to the R folder. You have to what do you say go to layouts dot okay activity name. Wait, one second. Okay, this is not. We have to say r dot id dot dice. So what this does is that this creates a reference of our dice view inside our dice image. So now we can access this dice view with this variable right here. So that is done. Now we need to create a reference to our button, the role button. To do that, we will just say var uh, role, and the type of this variable will be button. It will be equal to find id r dot id dot we have bt enroll button. Okay. Now we have what we say referenced both of our views into our Kotlin file. Any doubts? I hope there are no doubts. So okay, now what we need to do is whenever we click the button, like whenever we click this roll button, we want something to happen. So in our button, in the button variables, in button views, there is a function called on button click. Like there is a function that listens to button clicks in our what do you say application. So to call that, we just have to say roll button dot on click on click listener. Sorry, set on click, set on click listener. Okay. So what this does is that whenever you click on the what do you say button, anything you write inside this curly braces will be whenever you click this button. So basically we need to what do you say write our logic to change the image, the generate a random number and then change the image inside this. Okay, so before doing that, we also need a dice object. So let's say var game dice equal to, we'll call the class. Then we'll say, let's say the dice is 6 sides because we have an image for the 6-sided dice. Okay, the dice will have 6 sides. So now we have created an object for the dice class. Now what we have to do is that we just have to what do you say call the roll function from this dice, and then we have to what do you say change the image. So inside whenever we click the roll, we call the roll function. So when we call the roll function, what it does is that it returns a value, random number between 1 and 6. So we need to store that somewhere. So for that, let's say we have a variable. We can call it that number rolled. Okay. Let's say this is equal to uh, game dice dot roll. Okay. So what this does is that runs the roll function inside game dice, and this function returns an integer that will be a random number, and we are storing an integer inside our variable. So number of roll dice will change whenever we click roll dice. Okay, so now we have the number of roll dice. Okay, now we need to, what do you say, check for number of roll dice. If it is 1, we have to display the image respective to the dice 1. If it is 2, we have to display the image respective to dice 2. Like here we have dice 1, dice 2, dice 3, dice 3. Okay, so according to number of dice, we have to change the image. So for this, the best thing would be to run a when what is the condition loop, like the one which we discussed yesterday. So how do we do that is we just write when into the variable. For here it is number rolled. Okay. Now we have to check when number rolled is 1. What we have to do? We have to change the what we say image of our what we say image view. We have to change this image. So to do that, we have the reference of our image. What we have to do is that open dice image. That is a variable that has the reference of our view. Then what you have to do dot set image resource. So this is the function that we'll be using to change the what is the image of our image view. Okay. Now inside this, we just have to pass the image. Okay. So that will be r dot rival dot dice one, because if it is one, then we have to print dice one like this one. Okay. Now what if it is two? If it is two, we'll be doing the same thing. So I will just copy this. Okay. Now for two, we'll have just change three for three, and it is four, six. There also it will be four, five, six. Okay. So now what this does is that according to the value of number of roll dice, it changes the image. Okay, so this part is done. Now after this, I don't think anything else is needed in the logic part. So now we will just try running this. Let's see if it works or not. Well, then let's see the doubts. No doubts. Let it finish running. Okay, now let's try rolling. Okay, you can see that whenever we click roll, our dice is changing randomly. Like we are getting a random number on the dice. Like so, so you can use this. So this can be your first application for like a game. Now we can add more things, like we can create a text view, input view here. Then you can, what do you say, just say that you ask the user to guess a number, and then you can add more logic here, like if the guess number will be same as our dice, you can increase the score, something like that. So you can try that if you want. You can add score and all. Okay, so this was like just a basic part to introduce you to Android. Okay, so now our app is done. Okay, now let's make some more changes. Like let's see how we can change the what is the theme of our application. So now we want this to look red. Like this color should be red. So what I will do is I will go to themes. Okay, uh, we just need to change the primary color because we are not using others here. So for now I will only change primary colors. So as you can see, this is something like colors written here. Okay, so what this means is that this color is taken from this XML file which has all the colors defined here. So we need to first define the color which we want to use here. So I will just go to Google and I will just search a color picker. Okay, and I will just pick any color that I want. Like if I want red, I will just take the hex value of that color. Then I will just come back to Android. I will copy this. I will paste it here. Okay. Then I will just write red here instead of white. Then I will paste the X value of the color that I, sorry, something else happened. Wait, okay, let's copy it once again. I will just, what do you say, paste it here. I explained it two times. Okay, so see now this is here. Now we have to go back to themes and just we have to call red here. See, red is already there because Kotlin already like automatically understands what it automatically searches for all that, and you can just see red is there. So you can have to press enter. And now if I rerun the application, let's see what happened. If you have any doubts, you can just put it in the chat. Is there any error? No, no. Okay. Mm, okay. Now let's wait. Okay, now you can see the theme of our application is changed. So automatically this one and this one automatically changes. So this is something that, what do you say, is very useful because while programming, you don't need to look at the colors. You just have to say if you want this color to be color primary or color secondary. Later on, you can just change the colors here and it will automatically be changed everywhere. So that is what you say, something that makes this faster, like programming faster. So you've already changed the color. So now if you go to the home button and you just look at our apps icon, like see, I already created this later before. So this is our latest app. Okay. So you can see that it doesn't have a logo right now. Like it looks very bad. It is the stock logo that Android gives you. So now we want to change this. So to change this, what we have to do is we have to go to the Android manifest file. Okay. Here you can see, okay, see, there is a icon session, okay, and there is a rounded icon session. So what you have to do is you just have to, can very, if you want to do very quickly, you can just say drawable dice one. Okay, it's also okay, drawable dice one. Okay, now if I rerun, reinstall, let's see what happens. So this is all same. There is no problem. It is working. Is it working? Okay, it's lagged. Okay, it is working. Okay, this is working. So if I go to home and if I check, see, now you can see that we have a logo, like we have an icon here. Okay, so we have done this also. We have changed, we know how to change the icon, we know how to change the themes, we know how to do basic layout and functionality. So after all this, the final thing would be to build an APK. So you can, what is it, send this application to, okay, it is still frozen. One second. Uh, okay, I change something here. Is it changing here? Let's see. Okay, it is changing. It is working right. Maybe I will try rejoining. That right. Is it freezing for anyone else? Rishabh?
For me, it's not like. Uh, for me, it's not.
It is fine or it is not fine?
It is fine. It is fine. Fine.
It is fine now? Okay. Sometimes, okay.
Sometimes there is low resolution, but for me, it's not freezing.
Okay. So I don't know why that is happening, but you if you didn't understand anything, you can ask. Like I can explain it again. If you didn't understand a part or if you don't know how to do something. Okay, let's. Okay, so I am hoping that there are no doubts. So now that's all that you have to do in the application. Now what we have to do is build an APK. so that you can share this application with someone. So to build APK, you have to go to build. Like on the top, you can see a build section. Then you click on build. You will see all these options. Under here, you have to go to build bundle slash APK. You don't have to create a bundle. You just have to create an APK. So click on build APK. Once you click on build APK, you can see Gradle build running here. So once this is completed, it will show a notification uh, with the location of the file where your APK is stored. So let it load. So by the time it is loading, I just want to tell you that if you want to continue, what do you say? If you want to learn more about what do you say Android development, you can use this course from Google. One second, basics Android. One second. Okay. How to add animations. So adding animations, it is what do you say easy, but if you what do you say Google it, you will find it. Like you can do it easily. This one, there's no problem. I think you have to add GIFs, and if you want to do it very easily, you can just what do you say add a GIF, like that will be very easy. But if you want to do animation, yeah, you'll have to look into it. Repeat the building part. Okay, see the building is done. Now it was running right. Now the build is over. So you can see that we get a notification here saying that APK generated one successfully, and this is the location. Like if you click on this link, you will taken to what do you say the folder where the APK is stored. So to create this APK, you have to go to the build part. Like you just have to go here. It is very easy. You have to go here under build APK session. You just have to click build APK. If you click this, what you see, you will see a Gradle build sign here. And after the Gradle is done building, you will see this notification with the location of your APK, like where in your computer the APK is stored. You just have to click there and you can use that APK. Okay, so you just check this link out, the link which I sent. Okay, this is the link for the course, and there are what do you say? One more thing, developer. One more link I will send you. One second. Okay, so this link is like the main website of Android, so you can see everything about new packages and all. There is an error by building the APK too, the same one. Okay. So I don't know why that is happening. So once if you send me the error, I can check it and what do you say? If I find a solution, I can tell you after the meet. The same error. Hmm, building. Google it. Hmm, issues in. Can you send the error once again? Okay. Oh, this one. Technology की packages sometimes are not accepted in tools. Hmm. Okay, solution is given. Contact number is one second. Let me read this. For anyone else who doesn't have doubt, you can leave the meet if you want. If you want, you can leave. Site is disabled. SDK tools. Audio SDK manager. Hmm. Mhm. We can stop the recording now. Or stop recording. Thank you for the conversation. No problem.